Are you interested in attending Special Forces assessment and selection? Are you prepared to go? Have you done everything that you can that's within your power to ensure that you're able to attend, crush, and get selected? If there's any hint of hesitation there, guys, more than likely the answer is no. With that in mind, I want to give you another tool that you can gravitate towards that's going to help you get that much more prepared. Check out the description box below. Go to the Patreon. There you'll have access to a variety of prep courses that I put together geared towards helping you attend and crush Special Forces in selection. Once you get signed up, you'll get access to the Discord where at any given times, there's 90 other dudes on there that's currently going through the Special Forces journey. It's gonna cost you $19 to either live a life of fulfillment or a life of regret. The intent here, guys, is to help you prep so you could attend and crush selection. So if you haven't done so already, go over to the Patreon. I'll see you there. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I remember back in 2008, a couple of buddies of mine, myself, Leo, and one other guy, Ski, we were standing around and we were talking about what our next moves were going to be as far as career goes. And I remember specifically us talking about Ranger Battalion, right? Wanting to go that route. Now, for me, things clearly went a different path. I ended up going to selection instead of going down to Fort Benning to try to get into the 75th Ranger Regiment. But it is something that I've always thought about as far as how my life would have been different if I chose to go that route instead of going SF. With that said, guys, today I want to talk to you guys about the Ranger Regiment. I had a couple of guys reach out over the weekend looking for some information about it, right? So I did a little bit of research for them, and I wanted to share my thoughts as far as what the Ranger Regiment is and what it is exactly that they do, right? With all that said, guys, before we jump into this, I want you guys to understand the difference between the Ranger tab and the Ranger scroll, right? The Ranger tab, anybody can get when they graduate Ranger School. Ranger School, anybody can go, enlisted or officer, any MOS, right? As long as you attend and you graduate, you earn your tab, you get the Ranger tab. The Ranger scroll you get once you are attached to the 75th Ranger Regiment, right? It's a patch. So you could be at Ranger Regiment and not have a Ranger tab yet because you haven't attended Ranger School, right? So again, guys, the tab you get from when you graduate Ranger School, the Ranger scroll, the patch, you get that once you are a part of the actual unit, right? That's like for SF guys. We have the arrowhead, right? The arrowhead you get for being part of the unit. The Special Forces tab, you get that for being a Green Beret and also for being a graduate of the qualification course, right? So same concept, right? You have the arrowhead, which is the patch, similar to the scroll, right? Then you have the Ranger tab, which is similar to the Special Forces tab that you get from when you graduate the qualification course. You get the long tab. Graduate Ranger School, you get the short tab, right? So that's the difference between the tab and the scroll, right? I wanted to explain that so we can move forward. Now, Ranger Regiment itself, guys. So what is it? So Ranger Regiment is a elite light infantry unit tasked with conducting a variety of missions that fall underneath the USASOC umbrella, right? Within USASOC itself, guys, USASOC is U.S. Army Special Operation Command. You have Delta Force, you have Green Berets, you have the 160th, and then you have Ranger Regiment, all right? They are tasked with conducting direct action, special reconnaissance, airfield seizures, raids, and a couple of other missions, guys. Their motto is Rangers Lead the Way, right? I remember reading through emails, you know, throughout my military career, and you always see the acronym RTLW, right? Rangers Lead the Way. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what the heck does that mean? All right. I asked around, it was like, yeah, that means Rangers Lead the Way. But those dudes are very, very proud of their lineage, man. Awesome group of dudes. I've seen them operate in country, on deployments. Those freaking Ranger privates, man, that's one thing you never want to come across is a bunch of Ranger privates full of freaking vinegar ready to fuck shit up, right? Ranger Regiment, you figure you get two things wrapped in one. You get a well-disciplined force, right, that is very lethal. Rangers are very, very structured and disciplined, right? But they also pack a good punch, as opposed to some of the other special operations unit out there. For example, Green Berets, we're not really known for being disciplined, right? We're known for being cowboys and doing whatever it is that we want. But with Rangers, you get the lethal aspect of it, and you get the very, very strict professional aspect of it also, all right? So how do you get into the Ranger Regiment? It's as easy as doing the research, putting a packet together, and applying, right? Now, once you apply, don't get me wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get in, but that is the process, all right? Now, there's a variety of MOSs that can actually go serve within the Ranger Regiment, all right? It is predominantly 11 Bravos, which is a bunch of enlisted dudes, and 11 Alphas, which are the officers. Now, you also have warrant officers also in there. Right? But to see if your MOS qualifies, you can go to their website and do your research. And if you do qualify, then you can apply to go serve at Ranger Regiment. Now, let's say you do meet the basic requirements and you get accepted and you get invited to attend RAS, right? RAS is the gateway. It's like the selection that you have to go through to get to Ranger Regiment, all right? So E1 through E5, you'll attend RAS, right? And then E6 all the way up to E9, and all officers, to include warrant officers, you'll go through RIP. Once you're done and you completed that process, then you could serve in the Ranger Regiment, guys. Now, the Ranger Regiment is very unique in that once you enter that organization, you get to retain your actual MOS. So if you're in 11 Bravo and you go serve in Ranger Regiment, you get to keep that 11 Bravo designator, right? As opposed to, for example, Green Berets, when we become an SF guy, we change our MOS. We become 18 series. Now, that's important because within Ranger Regiment, if they have a guy that's not, meeting the standards or that's constantly messing up, they can just kick him back to regular Army and not have to worry about reclassing him or making him, change his MOS or any of that stuff. He can just go back to regular Army as an 11 Bravo. Now, within Green Berets, within the SF Regiment, if I want to get rid of a guy, I got to pull his tab. Then I got to find somewhere to put him. I got to go through a bunch of hurdles to make that happen, as opposed to, other units like Delta Force and Ranger Battalion. They can be like, hey man, thank you for your service. Go find you a new home, right? So that's what's unique about those guys. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Ranger Regiment, guys. Awesome group of dudes. And also within Ranger Regiment, they also have a Tier 1 element. And I wanted to go into the Tier 1 system and the Tier 2 systems real quick, right? All Tier 1 and Tier 2 and Tier 3, all that means is the amount of money that you have, right? The amount of money that you have for equipment, the amount of money that you have for training, right? When I look at tiers, that's all I see, right? Because you hear that all the time. Oh, this is a Tier 1 unit, this is a Tier 2 unit. It just means the amount of money that you guys have available to you, right? If you're a Tier 1 man, you get more money so you can do more awesome shit, right? If you're Tier 2, you don't get as much money, right? That's how I look at that system, right? But anyways, within Ranger Regiment itself, guys, they have a Tier 1 unit, right? Their recon element that if guys within Ranger Regiment themselves want to challenge themselves a tad bit more, they can also apply to go to that unit. Guys, that is my spiel on Ranger Regiment as it stands, all right? If I missed anything, please let me know in the comment section below, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I've never served in the unit. I just did some research so I can answer some of my viewers' questions, all right? I appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, take care of yourself.